All right. What's up, everybody? We back again on the Ragsdale channel. Y'all know how we do it over here. Say it's Saturday, we chilling, and we like to deal with a lot of stuff. Y'all know on our channel we do things. It's a lot of smut stuff on YouTube that you can watch, but we try to bring a godly, real perspective to everything. And if y'all listen to me, y'all know I think real what God gave me. So y'all ain't heard this nowhere else. But being real is restoring, everlasting, atoning life. We started this thing about what would you do? So me and Lady T found this thing, and it's actually on Ricky Smiley's channel, but we just gonna let y'all hear. Let me just set it up before we get started, because we got Harold Can Fly on the panel. We got Micah down there at the college in the dungeon. Micah doing better, doing it big. And then we got Lady T here with me. We're going to get a woman's perspective. We're going to get a man's perspective. We're going to get young men perspective. And then we want y'all to put comment in the comments, y'all perspective of this. In our society, we lack respect. But this issue right here is a young man has a girlfriend. She has a father that's in the house. This father has set the rules down and made it plain. He has set his rules down. Michael, listen. Okay, the rule was you could come see my daughter, but you don't go in the bedroom. The bedroom's a no-no. So this man comes home, finds his daughter in the bedroom with this boy. He found his daughter in the bedroom with this boy. He yoked him up, called his mama, let him know what happened. Now, I'm going to share what I shared with y'all earlier, how a child will go and tell a whole different story. Won't tell the whole story. But, hey, Ragsdales, everybody on our channel, y'all watch this. Watch this video. Then we'll discuss it a little bit before we get out of here. Let's watch and see this woman confronting this man. Her son went in his home and violated his rules that he had already told the boy what his rules were. Now, y'all check this out.
You put your hands on my son?
I caught him in the bed with my daughter.
They don't give you a right to put your hands on my son.
He know the rules. He know the rules.
Okay, and I tell him the rules, but you,
they in the
when
living
it comes to my children, you do not put your hands on my child.
They don't go in the bedroom.
Understood.
They stay in the living room.
Understood. He put his hands on you, correct? Do not touch my child anymore. And I wouldn't touch your child. Don't.
I didn't hit him. I didn't hit him. I roughed him up. I threw him out. He knew the rules.
It doesn't matter. You could have spoke to him. You didn't have to touch him. You didn't have to use physical force.
So did you even know who he was? Right. Where he was?
Okay, youngsters. What would you do? Punchy, what would you do in this situation?
If I was in the young boy's shoes, then I wouldn't have gone in the room. I mean, it's kind of. I feel like everybody on the outside of that door is like weenie, like they're all weenie general. Like he could have told his mom, like, yeah, he roughed me up, but don't go over there. Like I messed up. Like he could have taken accountability for himself, and the mother could have taken accountability instead of going over there. That doesn't give you a right to touch my kid. Man, shut up, bro. Like there was no accountability taken. And then in on the father's part, I mean, it doesn't seem like he didn't hurt him or nothing like that. He
Right.
made a rule, and it is within his rights to remove that kid. Whatever he did, was it he could have pew pew, and that would have been in his rights. Like in all seriousness, he could have done anything, and it would have been in his rights. Morally, what he did was completely in his rights morally. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, that mama. I mean, obviously, the father wasn't there doing that part, checking anything. I don't think if there was a father in the picture, he wouldn't have went over there checking. He would have got on the sons, but I don't know. I mean, it seems like everybody's weenie. Like, I don't mean like, oh, they're punks. I mean, like, why would you, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you went over this. He's probably embarrassed. Like, oh, my girl's dad checked me, and now I gotta act like, oh, let me get my mama to go check. Like, bro, she's not getting back with you, bro. She's not gonna let you crack again. I'm sorry. You're never gonna crack again.
All right, Punch. Michael, you the youngster, and you probably done did some little old sideways stuff.
Hey.
No. How do you see this whole situation? That woman all up in his face at his house, pointing at him, saying, "You don't put your hands on my son." What do you think about that? How would you handle that?
Okay, I'm not a woman, but I'm a guy, so I put myself in the father's perspective of the son. If my son got caught in the girl's room, first I'm gonna tell him you should have been a little bit more slick about it. But, hey man, if I'm gonna let you go into this dude's house, and I don't play by my kid, go on do what he tell you to do. Go on do what he tell you to do. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect the man house. That should have been taught already. Respect other people's house and rules as well. But I'm all about equality. So y'all taking the boy. I'ma check that whore that let that boy go in that room. That's what I'ma check. Y'all taking the boy. I'm taking the girl. Quit being the whore. Well, I hope he got on her about it. I really do hope so. Cause he can't sit there and just force his way into the girl's legs. It's probably not gonna happen.
Right.
I would have checked the girl too, but he was right. He was right. I would have did something similar to that, but I would have did something similar. Facts.
Right. Okay. Well, Lady T, you heard how we set it up. You watched a little bit of it. What do you feel about that whole situation? What would you do?
I wouldn't have went over there and said anything to that man. My son would have been checked, because whatever he do with his daughter in his home is their business. If he checked her or not, which I'm sure he did, but the situation was regarding her and her son. That's the situation, because he was out of line. He should not have gone over there, and then he went and lied to his mama. See, that's why a lot of them are getting on the lie. The mama, the sons, and all of them, because she had no business going and knock on that man's door, first of all. Secondly, with her finger pointing in his face, now, what if that man would have snapped her finger? If he'd have touched her, then he'd have been wrong. He'd have went to jail at his own house because she over there out of line. Your son started the drama, but then this man, the man is a man, first of all, because he didn't even argue with her. He was just asking her, did you know where he was? Why you over here checking me? Did you know where your son was? And this was late at night. So no, she didn't even know where he was. Why she want to try to all of a sudden be a parent? No, you're not a parent, because if you were, he would not be over there in that man's daughter's room anyway, being disrespectful. That's just my perspective. Myself, I would not have done that. My son, no. Mm-mm.
Now, I go a little personal. My eldest son, I came home from work early one day, and It was some little Mexican girls in the house. First thing I did is I said, take me to your house. I need to talk to your mama. And when I saw the mama, it was some little Hispanic girls. Y'all know, my first 2 grandkids is Blaxicans. So y'all know they fast. And before I go on, this is not about racism. This is not about any ism. This is about Christism. This is about making boundaries. This is about having rules and following them. And it falls back to respect. I took them girls. I was rough. I spoke rough to them. And I told their mama, when I'm not at home, I don't allow other children beside my own children in my house. If I come home and I see your children in my house, they're going to get the same whooping that the kids that live in my house get. So you run your house the way you run. I respect that. But you got to respect the way I run my home. That's not going down. Your great-grandpa, always said a parent, his wife, is never wrong in her own house. So to me, the man handled it very well. She was very disrespectful, and all he did was say, I did not hit him. Mm-hmm. He yoked him up. Now, neither one of y'all have daughters. So y'all don't know what it feels like to hold your daughter. Y'all don't know what it feels like to know her innocence. And how when you hold her, she looks at her protection from her father. And that father has a special connection with that daughter that the mama don't even have. So you telling me that I'm supposed to let this boy come in there? Remember, this ain't about any ism but Christism. I'm supposed to let this boy come in my house while I'm out working, trying to pay bills. First of all, my daughter has a room because of me. So this boy comes in the room and violates my house rules. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that daughter I can tell, y'all could tell by just that gentleman, that daughter, she got her butt to she caught some HELL from her dad. And probably her mom too. Mom must have been still at work. Because if you come to my house and a woman got that much vibrato, mm-hmm. I'd have said, Lady T, we're going to have to take one for the team. I'll get you out.
She ain't coming to the door.
But she needs repercussions. She's a little too bold at somebody else's doorstep in 2025. Y'all look at society and the way things is going, people are being unalive for a lot less. I tell everybody under the sound of my, don't go to nobody's house, checking nobody until you first check your own house. Check your own house. And I'm telling y'all as young men, especially you, Michael, if a man say, don't do that, respect that. Respect it. You ain't gotta like it, but respect it, because one day you may have a daughter and her panties may be hot. And you may have to check that boy and tell him, hey, don't let me catch you in my daughter's room. In my house where I was raised, my girlfriend wasn't allowed past the den downstairs. She wasn't allowed upstairs.
My kids' friends.
Upstairs was my bedroom. Mm-hmm. She wasn't allowed to go past the den downstairs. That was just my mother's rule. And y'all might see this as traditional, but I don't think it's traditional. I think it's right and wrong. I think it's having boundaries. And that's things that we don't have. Boundaries. Because that could have ended real bad. Yeah. We live in a society now. What if that was a little girl and her dad wasn't as mature as this man was, and he had a trigger happy finger? And then that woman would have been fussing and fighting at the mortuary. But he would have got smooth away with it because that boy could have been considered as an intruder in his home. So you got to have boundaries within yourself. Boundaries don't start with other people. Boundaries start within yourself. And if you get a girl and she has a father, and again, after I researched this father had already told this young man, it's okay for you to date my daughter, but there's some boundaries. And we're not going to cross these boundaries. We're not going to cross these boundaries. As Lady T said, what she do in her house, that ain't none of her business. And if y'all listen to me on Sunday morning, I'm always talking about people, Tough Talk Tuesday. I'm talking about people that's always other people's business. They business ain't fixed. So she had no business going to that man's house trying to regulate what goes on in it. She wasn't getting ready to pay his mortgage. She wasn't about to pay his light bill. She wasn't about to pay his car note. She wasn't about to pay his insurance. She wasn't about to pay for his yard to be cut. She wasn't going to pay his yard man.
She didn't even pay his metro bill.
Thank you. She wasn't even getting ready to pay the metro bill, baby. But she came over there like she was Mr. T or somebody, the Incredible Hulk, pointing, and you hit my son. Say, what about your son? Did you teach him to respect other people besides you? We on here. We ain't going over 20 minutes. But hey, that's just something, y'all, that I wanted to think about. And if y'all go watch it on Ricky Smiley, the only person that agreed with the mother was the brat. And I'm going to leave it at that. Again, I'm coming from a Christ perspective. The brat is married to a woman. So her train of thought is already twisted. Nope. No judging, no, I'm coming biblical. She's already twisted. So keep your hands off my son. Well, I have daughters. Keep your son needs to keep his thing out of my daughter. Now, when he's ready to stick his thing in my daughter, he's ready to take her down to an altar and put a ring on it. And take the responsibilities of taking care of my daughter and whatever comes out of her. I have no problem with that. When you do that, that's no longer my business. Do it Christ-like, I got to shut up. But when you do it the world's way, you asking for worldly results. I'm just asking the question, what would you do in that situation? Because we got to always know that no one is right in the midst of wrong. If anything, if you got to go over someone's house, make sure you got the police with you. So you know it won't get out of hand. But she played loud. Yes. Take the police with you if you got to go over someone's house. Because, say, I shared with y'all what just happened to me this week. And I was completely innocent. But because of who I am and the texture of my skin, I was tried as if I had done something wrong. And I didn't do nothing wrong. I know each and every day I dang near have to be perfect. I know this. So wasn't nothing right with what she did. And nothing was right in what that young man and that young girl did. They were completely. Say, y'all subscribe, put in the comments what y'all think about that. And hey, y'all stay up, have a blessed weekend, be encouraged. And as we always say, if they stand beside you, respect them. If they stand behind you, protect them. And if they stand opposite of you, show them no mercy. Deuces.
Pew, pew.